Martha Moxley was murdered on October 30th, 1975, beaten to a bloody death with a broken golf club. Michael Skakel was convicted for the murder in 2002. But was he truly guilty, or was he framed for a crime he did not commit? We are the homies of Holmes.
What are you doing? Waiting for me to turn around? I'm Philip Marlowe. The case turns and faces me. What do you think it all means?
I don't have all the data yet. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's a capital mistake for one to theorize before one has all the data.
Here's the deal. Case is closed. I can give you all the information we have that's going to lead you to Michael Skakel.
The case may be closed, but it ain't empty. Let's crack it open, take a look. What do we know?
October 30th, 1975. Martha, Michael, and a couple of friends were in the Skakel's car listening to music about 8:55 p.m. Thomas Skakel joins them around 9:15 p.m., and he and Martha leave the car, reportedly make out in the driveway. We have reason to believe Michael was jealous and upset by the flirting and sexual behavior between his brother and Martha.
Yes, the green-eyed monster.
The boy must be colorblind if this green-eyed monster made him see red.
Michael was known to abuse cocaine and alcohol. He was an extremely unstable individual mentally. His own father said he threatened his aunt with a knife once over liquor. Not to mention, he has no concrete alibi for the time of the death.
No concrete alibi? None of these kids have a concrete alibi. It was the 70s. It's not like they had constant chaperones.
What? You think somebody else did it?
There's nothing tying Michael directly to the murder. No fingerprints on the weapon. No DNA evidence. Was he jealous? I don't know. Maybe he could have been. Drunk? He was a teenager in the 70s, so yeah, probably. But no one who was there that night noticed anything particularly off about Michael, and anyone could have done it. Better yet, everyone could have done it.
Interesting.
And why would Michael agree to a lie detector test if he was guilty? Why would he admit to masturbating in a tree outside Martha's window if he was guilty? He agreed to DNA testing. Doesn't sound like something a murderer would do now, does it?
I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation.
Michael went to the Terrian's house to watch Monty Python. His friends vouched for him and said he was there. If multiple people back up an alibi, that sounds pretty concrete to me. And what about Tommy? He admitted to having sexual relations with Martha. As far as we know, he was the last to see her.
That's all speculation.
And what about Ken Littleton? According to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he admitted to stabbing Martha in the neck. That's pretty damning evidence to me.
That's only one account, and a pretty biased one at that, considering Kennedy is related to the Skakels. Ken had no clear motive. Michael did. He was unstable.
His doctor said his impulse control was marginally adequate.
That doesn't mean a thing. Marginally adequate is when your car breaks down every week, but your wallet breaks down every day. So you make the day, you go along, and it's just a nice way of saying everything's gone to shit.
His doctor also said he had a violent, morbid fantasies and that his mental functioning was clearly fragile. That seems to hold more weight than marginally adequate.
And what about the hypnosis? John couldn't place Michael in the car, watching the movie at the house. Kept saying Michael was back at the house, that he didn't come with them. His friends say have vouched for him in the moment, but people lie. You can't take anyone for their word. Look in the freaking report.
Exactly. Like I said, all the evidence leads right back to Michael Skakel.
Take a look here, Sherlock. Your lips have been real tight today. What do you think?
Why, it's elementary, my dear friends. Michael fancied Martha. Martha was a shameless flirt, which is clear to anyone who reads her diary. She had an interest in many different boys. Thomas Skakel, in an act of brotherly rivalry, caught Martha's interest and swooped in. The two engaged in sexual activity. Michael realized what was happening, maybe even saw them in the act. He did not leave to watch Monty Python with his peers. Instead, he lurked. He drank. He waited until Thomas left and Martha headed home, and he intercepted and confronted her. Of course, she didn't fear him. They were friendly until this point. But he was in a drunken, psychotic rage. Marginally adequate was not adequate enough, and he killed her. Later, when he had sobered up enough to realize the gravity of his actions, and moved her body to a more inconspicuous place. He hid the shaft of the golf club he used to bludgeon her, cleaned up his tracks. He made sure nothing connected him to the murder.
What about his confession of the peeping Tom?
Misdirection. It explained away any witness accounts of sounds heard at that time, sounds that in truth were of Michael moving the body. Additionally, in saying that he was masturbating outside Martha's window, he is implying that he did not know she was dead. Of course, he did know she was dead because he made sure of it.
I guess the case really is closed then.
Of course it is. I do my job.
Okay, but hear me out. What if it was actually aliens?